Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream event. Thank you for taking the opportunity to join us across the globe. Folks from all parts of the world are tuning in. I see Dubai and Portugal, Austria, just to name a few. For those of you who are new, my name is Crystal. I'm with Ascension One Collective, the foundation that supports the work of the channel. I'm here today to guide you into and out of the session. We've been offering these bi-weekly live stream events to deepen our practice at home. Last week's series was about the love of creation. This week, we've been exploring beyond space and time. As always, we have some newcomers, so I'm going to share a little bit to give those folks context for the work. Raphael studied within various spiritual traditions over the last 18 years. 5 years ago, he had a strong spiritual experience that opened up this connection that today we refer to as the channel. This is a connection of both powerful energy and wisdom that, during the sessions, he will embody and bring through. Through this connection, energy will come through him and reach all of those who are tuning into the live stream. This energy will allow you to go deeper in your meditation, as well as receive information which will often take the form of a spoken transmission, or in your own way, visions, messages, or an inner knowing. The process for Raphael to get into trance includes spontaneous movements of his body and hands, sometimes shaking of his body, fast breathing, and as the energy level rises, sometimes his eyes will roll upwards. It may not seem it, but it's all normal, and his everyday human consciousness is still available to him while he's channeling. He can stop the embodiment at any time. The channel will bring through guides that will specifically introduce themselves with the names humanity has given them. You might recognize some of these names as angels or archangels, but they never refer to themselves as such. Once the energy field is established, then an energetic alignment begins. People report having powerful experiences even over live stream, so it's really easy. During this time, sit back and focus on being in an open, meditative state. Just by being receptive, you've included yourself in this energy field, so there's nothing else that you need to do. During the session, you may also bring a loved one into your mind and heart to have them receive the benefits as well. You can set an intention. You can release any old wounds, thoughts, emotions that no longer serve you. People share often that things come up for them even in the absence of an intention, so flow with that also, and just accept all that arises. Once the energy alignment is complete, Raphael will embody another celestial being who usually allows for questions to be asked. This is typically who we call Emmanuel. If you'd like to ask a question, feel free to type it into the Questions tab on the bottom of the screen in Crowdcast. The production team will then choose a few questions to ask the channel from the list. Keep in mind, there are a few hundred people watching this right now across 3 live streams, so center yourself before you ask the question and ask yourself, what's the best way to ask this question that would serve the most people? We've found that Emmanuel's answers are typically phrased in a way that serves the greater good, so if you're looking for a personal answer, the answer may not align with your expectation. The energy field pulls us into an interesting collective state, so you may find that if you have a question in your mind, you receive the answer in somebody else's question or silently inside yourself. We have a Crowdcast poll running on the Polls tab at the bottom of the screen. We'd like to know how this work impacts you. It's one question at the beginning, how are you doing before the session? And one after the session. With a simple scale of 1 to 5, it's very easy to answer, so please take a second now and let us know how you are. For people who can offer a donation, it not only supports Raphael, but it supports the whole production team. Many of you donated to the last session and have donated already to this one. It's truly appreciated, and it really helps us keep this work accessible. We have links to the donation options in the chats. We invite you to listen with an open mind and an open heart. We recommend that you listen in a space where you can't be interrupted and you turn your phone off. We also recommend that you stay tuned in through the entire session. You will know when we're moving from one part to the next. If you are in a deep meditative state at the end of the energy transmission, it's okay if you can't hang on to every word thereafter. The benefit of staying with us is what's most important, and the words can be replayed and read later. We are recording the audio and video, and we'll provide the video and transcript following the event on our website and social media pages. As the session ends, we will sit together in silence for a few minutes and give you all enough time to come back to this state of awareness. Enjoy your journey into space and timelessness. I'll see you here upon your return.
Good morning, everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon, wherever you are. This journey of a human experience, the full of wonders, miracles, roller coasters. Sometimes we have the privilege and the space to think about what is it even for? Maybe is it merely to just live and to just be? And for some it is connected to a deeper sense of purpose, a deeper meaning. For some it is connected to learning and experiencing and coming to realizations. Either way, it is an opportunity for us, if we can consciously make the time for it, to dive deeper, to quiet our minds and our hearts, and to explore the depths of our own being. And there is a lot there to explore. There is a lot there to see and to feel. So I'm excited that you have chosen once again to join. In this work, you may experience various different things, and we hear many of the reports of the experiences from all around the world, from Kundalini awakenings to spiritual realizations, or even just a state of between asleep and awake, a trance-like state where recovery and recuperation and recharging happens. All of that is great. There is no particular way that's the right way to do it. It's really just, can we all get to a place where we can receive, realign, and become better versions of ourselves? That'll benefit you, and it'll benefit the loved ones around you. It'll benefit the entire human collective. So can we be together on this continuous growth journey? Thank you for joining, and thank you for your trust. Greetings, I'm Raphael. Since the time you have been conceived, you have been on this journey of a human experience. This version and iteration of you, experiencing life once again, in its full extent. All possibilities remained open, yet specific learnings and realizations were agreed upon before your entry. Your choices have been accepted. Choices to receive the most of this lifetime. Some of you may not perceive all the experiences that you have had as pleasant or as conscious choices. Yet your consciousness is beyond your conscious awareness in human form. You receive all experiences as part of your growth, as part of the growth of the human collective. Every moment, every interaction, every relationship, every aspect of your life is part of this growth and realization process. You may or may not perceive it that way, yet it is. If you align your perception with this understanding that all aspects of your life serve you, you will find more peace in walking through the challenges and the difficulties. Time and space, the way you perceive it, are part of your reality. For you to allow to have this experience, that is unique, as well as temporary in this current identity, in this current iteration of your existence. It allows for this ecosystem to provide for you everything that is necessary for your evolution. This ecosystem as well requires the space and time construct. You receive, you give, you're continuously in exchange with this environment. You're continuously in exchange with life itself, with all those around you, in material and in non-material form. The beauty of life will become more prevalent to you as you start to embrace that all that is serves you. Even in the moments of discomfort and challenge, you will understand the beauty of life, the magnificence of this creation. Embrace it with all parts of your being, your mind, your heart, and your soul. you have chosen to receive this work as part of your evolutionary stage. To receive in order to grow, in order to have the support necessary to be accelerated on your growth, to be supported in ways that we can provide. Thank you for receiving this work. May this alignment serve you in the best possible way. Serve those around you, and, through you, the entire collective. Thank you for receiving this work. My work is complete. Greetings. My name is Emmanuel. You are on this extraordinary journey, not just of life, but of awakening. A critical time in human existence has arrived. Every single one of you have had experiences of realizations, deeper truths about yourself, deeper truths about life, about love, and about existence. Each of these realizations have served for an opening for the next realizations to arrive. Some realizations will require the influence of an outside impulse. These outside impulses may often be perceived as negative, as they challenge the status quo of your existence, the comforts that you have created for yourself. Yet growth requires the challenging of the comfort. In this zone of being extended, you grow, and every part of you, along with your realizations. Your mental capacity expands to receive, to understand, to process, to witness and observe. Your awareness increases. Your heart expands. Its capacity to hold even more love, energy, connection, even more relationships. Truly feeling your own life and truly feeling the others, truly feeling the collective. You learn to navigate the emotions of the human form. You learn to navigate the experiences of the human form with this expanded version of your heart. Your energetic and spiritual body expands its capacity to receive even more energy from the environment, from higher planes, from this earth. The ability of your energetic spiritual construct to provide for your life a well-balanced experience, provide for others the energy and the love of creation. This continuous growth is space and timeless. Growth occurs in non-material forms and dimensions equally, yet without the constructs of space and time. The uniqueness of this human experience is that it is bound to a limited time frame for this iteration of your existence, allowing for a clean completion. All the learnings in the context of the reality that you have chosen. You receive, you love, you live, and you grow. You finalize the lifetime with gratitude and start the completion process of that lifetime before entering a new iteration. This cycle is possible due to the space and time construct. The material plane is therefore a powerful environment to learn and to experience and to grow. The choices that you will make in life will always be yours. The learnings and realizations will arrive, no matter the circumstances that you have chosen for yourself. They will arrive in various relationships. They will arrive in circumstances. Of work, of family, of nature, of exploration, of fun and enjoyment. As you can see, the limitless potential of life. With every choice you make, you cannot fail. You will always receive, and you will always have the opportunity to grow, to experience presence in its full extent. This is our reminder for you, and this is the support that we provide. Thank you for listening to my words. I will now answer some of your questions.
Thank you, Emmanuel. On Wednesday, the channel referred to a new space and time. Can you describe more about the new space and time? And is there anything to compare it to in the current human experience?
In life, you will experience moments where you're deeply present in a way where time and space expands. Timelessness becomes an aspect of that moment. Even identity and personality may dissolve in those deeply present moments. This is the experience I have referred to. These experiences will start to increase in frequency as you increase your ability to be present, to fully receive life with all its aspects, to fully experience the moment that is given to you. These moments beyond space and time can be experienced within this space and time construct. It is possible for you to have these unique experiences, and we do recommend to continue to bring yourself into alignment, into a balance that allows for a deeper presence of your being, through which you will experience more of these moments, unique each time, yet potent in its ability to provide for you, to realign you, to bring balance into your life in ways you may not have experienced before. What else can I answer for you?
Thank you, Emmanuel. Angela asks, it was mentioned that 3 years ago the guides had referred to an event in May 2020 that is referred to as the transmission. Did it already happen? Is it happening now in this series of events? Or are we on a different timeline and this event still hasn't happened?
The transmissions have started. The transmissions will continue in their intensity, will continue to increase in their potency and in the way they will transform all of you and the field that is created for the expansion of consciousness. The transformation of each single individual will then start to provide for an even stronger field that will provide even more potent transmissions. These transmissions of energy, of love, of shared wisdom are for you individually and for the collective to serve in this time of change, in this time of evolution. We will continue to increase the capacity of these transmissions as you will continue to increase your capacity to receive, your willingness and to surrender into a deeper level. The more you can receive and accept, the more we can deliver. This is often based on a mutual alignment. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Karis asks, Greetings, Emmanuel. Is it possible for us to travel through time and also to be in more than one place at the same time, with or without our physical bodies? Thank you.
Yes, all the potentials and possibilities of your existence exist at the same time in multitudes of realities. This is merely one of these realities. The most potent reality will create the probabilities for the upcoming realities. Therefore, you exist in multiple, infinite versions, infinite variations of this very moment. Time as a construct limits the current moment, yet it is truly possible for an individual to experience the probabilities of future moments as well as the probabilities of the past. The experiences of the past of this very current reality. In this way, an individual consciousness is capable of experiencing multiple timelines, multiple variations of its current existence. This allows for human consciousness to grow even with those variations that are not yours. This very current iteration of your existence will provide for you. It is therefore not a requirement to understand the other realities that exist. It is also not a prerequisite to understand all potentials of the future. Once you start to deepen your ability to be present, everything culminates into this very moment. Your attention, your energy, and your capacity comes into this very single present moment. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Ali asks, I dream a lot, and most times I find it difficult to interpret my dreams. Any advice on that?
The dream states of the human form come in different variations. Some parts of dream states allow for the processing of the subconscious mind, allow for processing of the experiences occurred, allow for the past to become present. Some dream states will allow the conscious mind to explore the future as well as other parts of this reality, the collective as well as other relationships. It is indeed possible for an individual to practice and to understand these various states of the altered consciousness in resting phases, to navigate through these phases, as well as to utilize the dream state for personal as well as spiritual growth. While it is not a requirement, it is beneficial. The first recommendation that we would make to you is to enter these dream states when it is not a traditional resting phase, outside of the hours that you would rest, and in different places than you would normally rest. Explore and see how far you can stay conscious during these dream states. Furthermore, when you arise, return from the dream state into a conscious state. Receive all that you have seen and experienced in that very moment, without any other distractions. Take note of all that you have received, and continue this process until your visions, your experiences become more clear. You will see an improvement through this process in your experience. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Jan asks, my mother has been grieving the loss of her son for almost 20 years. I want to help her heal, but she believes the Bible says that you must not try to communicate with the dead. She is also very fearful of this channelings. How do I allay her fears around this?
Her fears will always be hers. It is not for you to change her experience. The only aspect you can truly change is your own experience. To increase your quality of life, to increase your balance, to increase your heart, your mental capacity, and your well-being. All of these elements will become reason enough for her to reconsider the limiting beliefs that she has created around the connection with non-material existence. It is indeed challenging and potentially destabilizing for some individuals to experience the non-material plane in this form as well as in other forms. Yet, it has always been an aspect of human existence. The non-material forms have always been part of the human experience. With your belief or without, the connection is always here, and the exchange has always been present. You may choose to close your eyes and to live fully in the material experience, and you may choose to open yourself up and to connect and to experience a deeper understanding of the entire ecosystem of existence beyond this material plane that has been created for you. As you can see, you will be the walking example of the changes that occur in your system. This will start to make a difference for her. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Tyler asks, in the book Transmission, you talk about the importance of listening until the silence splits into many separate sounds, until you start to see the silence between the sounds. Can you say more about how we do this exactly?
Once you start to enter a state where your mind and your heart is quiet, you will start to experience an increased awareness of your surroundings. You will start to hear more details, feel more details. All of these details will become anchors to go to an even deeper silence. This is the silence in between the sounds that I refer to. There is many levels of silence. There is many depths that you can achieve through the silencing of the mind and your heart. This is the potential that is within your being. My recommendation is to continue this practice, to continue other practices, to observe the level and depth that you can achieve in your quiet time. The way you can deepen this present moment, it will make itself recognizable by the change of perception of time, by the change of perception of space, and by the dissolution of your identity in the very moment. This is how you will understand you have achieved a deeper level of silence that I have referred to. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Alexandra asks, could you talk more to us about taking care of or nurturing others while in a state of sleep? My question specifically is about guides there that help guide this learning.
My recommendation for all of you is to clear your mind and your heart before you rest. It is an important aspect of your being, and to receive fully from this resting state. You may even choose to set an intention to receive clarity, to receive alignment in certain ways during this resting state, during this dream state that you might enter. You may even expand your intention to receive assistance from higher consciousness, including ourselves. We will be then present with you during these states of your altered consciousness. The work that we can provide is easier received when your consciousness is in altered state, as the mind, the conscious mind, becomes an obstruction to fully receive. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Justin asks, what is the importance of collective visioning in creating a better world?
Just as a focused individual, a present individual can create its own reality a group of conscious individuals present in the very moment, clear in their minds, clear in their hearts, and their intentions, can create realities for themselves as a group, as well as the reality unfolding for the entirety of the collective. It is truly possible to achieve this state. It requires a multitude of individuals that have spent the time to purify, to align internally and with each other. This will provide for a higher probability of certain realities to occur. The potential of this reality is defined by the collective, by every single individual's ability to be present and to request certain experiences. The more elements of the past have been processed and completed, the more potential probabilities will unfold to be directed and chosen consciously as a collective of practiced individuals. You may even choose to process the aspects of the past of the collective itself, and so that realizations on behalf of the collective can be had. This will provide a lightening of the collective and an increase of frequency of this current reality. Thank you. Question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Christine asks, in your perspective, how is it going with the whole and healed reunion of the divine masculine and feminine on planet Earth?
Divine masculine and divine feminine as archetypes to aspire towards have always served humanity to understand its potential as an individualized experience of a specific gender. Both aspects reside in all individuals, the divine feminine, divine masculine present in every single individual human being. These archetypes may or may not ever be achieved, yet they are a guiding aspect of your being. As individuals, you will learn to understand a deeper balance between the masculine and the feminine within you. This will create a stronger balance between the masculine and the feminine in the collective. The balance within you will allow for others to see the balance within themselves. And while the masculine and the feminine in this collective continuously will fall into and out of balance, the aspiration towards the divine masculine and the divine feminine that eternally and consciously continuously are in balance is the way human consciousness will grow. As you can see, you are once again the key to this evolution that you seek to see in humanity. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Felicia asks, Emmanuel, you offer these beautiful transmissions and truths to us so freely. What drives your continued support of humanity? How did you and Raphael come to work together?
On the span of our existence, we have chosen to create, to seed consciousness, and to support the creation of consciousness, to support the growth of consciousness. We have seen that to become the purpose of our existence. We have assigned ourselves to individual civilizations in material and non-material plane, and to oversee and support their expansion, their growth. Humanity has therefore become one of the many civilizations we support. This is the way we have found to become, support, in a way where humanity evolves naturally and organically, learns and comes to realizations by itself, yet will receive pointers, directions, and support in this form. We have provided this support across humanity's existence since the beginning, and will provide this support until the very end. We have increased our ability and our interventions in this last 5 years, and we will continue to increase the interventions and to support this evolutionary stage of humanity. We understand that the probability of completing the ascension process is increased by our support in this particular way. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Bree asks, you've mentioned non-material beings existing on this plane. Can you tell us more about that?
The ecosystem of this material plane requires many forms of consciousness to operate and to provide the right balance in order to allow for the human experience to happen. Equally, the ecosystem of non-material existence provides for this material existence of humanity. Beings of nature that have not chosen to have material form continuously provide in the ecosystem of humanity's existence. This fine balance of material and non-material existence provides for the spectrum of beings, provides for the spectrum of experiences possible for humanity. Every living being that you have experienced in material form has as well its consciousness in non-material existence. This is as well accessible by by humanity's consciousness. Many civilizations before have understood the connection to the non-material world on this plane, and the interaction, the fine balance that is required through the continuous exchange, receiving and giving, to continue to exist in harmony. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Angela asks, who or what are seraphim? Do they exist beyond space and time?
Yes, they do. Seraphim is a collective consciousness that has evolved into the highest dimensions that we can recognize. They are perceived to be protectors of various realms, as well as protectors of various forms of consciousness. They bring forth a balance that is required to allow for the highest potential of a specific consciousness to grow. Adjustments and interventions are approved for seraphim to be present, for seraphim to intervene. You will experience seraphim's interventions in humanity's unfolding over the next 5 to 10 years more closely. This benevolent form of consciousness has evolved over billions of years of your count. We consider seraphim an even more evolved and longer in existence than we are. Their wisdom has supported us. Their wisdom has supported many of the activities that have been agreed upon through the higher realms and the hierarchies of existence. Seraphim will continue to provide for you. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Ashley asks, what is the purpose of the Ka body, and how can we increase its power for the highest good?
The Ka body, as you refer to, is an aspect of your energetic body that provides for the energetic construct of the human consciousness. Most importantly, the clearing processes of the individuals will allow for a purification of their existence, of their energetic bodies, and through which the entire collective will receive a deeper level of alignment, a continuous realignment, a continuous seeking of harmony within, a continuous purification process will bring forth deeper presence, through which these energetic bodies will increase in their frequency, will increase in their potency, the collective will benefit from this, and what you refer to as ka body will increase in its potency. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Adam asks, like many others, I constantly notice repetitive numerical patterns in everyday reality. Is there any actual message or teaching here, or am I just seeing patterns that I need not attend to?
The patterns that you perceive are the alignment and the attunement of your consciousness in this very moment. Seeing patterns of this kind reminds you of the very moment that you're in. The ability to receive in every single moment, to be attuned in every single moment, to fully expand the very presence that you have. This is merely a reminder as well as a recognition of the achievements that you have made so far. You can become even more present. You can become even more aware of your circumstances in the ways that you receive from this life in all its ways, the material form as well as the non-material forms. A message for you to be grateful for the moment that you have and to increase your presence even more. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Ben asks, in what way am I resisting these energetic transmissions?
A deeper level of trust will bring you deeper into this experience. Your ability to fully open up, and your ability to allow yourself to receive this work, to rest your mind, your body and your heart even more. The ways that you resist are mostly emotional and mental. Limitations that had been established over time. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more you give permission for us to provide, the more you will see how this work will start to impact you in deeper ways than it has. Most importantly, continue practice determination and devotion, dedicating yourself to your own growth. This way, or in other ways, will allow you to be even more receptive. Thank you for your question. Thank you for the work that you have received today, your willingness, your openness, as well as the time that you have assigned for this in your life. The impact through you will show the impact on the collective. Life as you know it is changing constantly and rapidly. the most important aspect of this change, the most important pillar will become your presence. Thank you for receiving this work. Welcome back. It's almost too good to leave this space of connection and energy. One of our participants used to refer to as like stardust that they leave behind. So I invite you to stay as long as you need to in this stardust and to receive even more. Thank you for joining.
Welcome back, everyone. Take your time to come back into your body. Take any extra time you need in a sitting or lying position, or stay in this state of stardust, as Asil was just saying, as long as you need to. As we are coming back, I have a few gentle closing remarks. If you'd like to continue the journey with us, there are a few ways to do it. We have social media pages like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube that you can follow and share. You can invite family, friends, and community to these bi-weekly sessions. You can join our Tuesday integration calls. We recently released our first book, Transmission, available on Amazon. We're launching our first advanced practitioner course. Submissions are now closed. Final emails will go out later today, so if you've not heard back from us, please check your email junk folder later on. These sessions are just one part of the work that we do. We also travel to both sacred sites and sites of global trauma to do energy alignment work. Once we are able to travel again, we will resume a tour through Europe and take a group of participants on a retreat to Greece, May 2021. This work is possible because of donations we receive. It not only supports Asil, but it supports the whole production team. As you would imagine, it takes a village to bring the channel to this space and then beam it out to you all. If you find this of value, please consider supporting the session with a donation. And there are 3 ways to do this. If you are on Crowdcast, there's a donate button at the bottom of your screen. There are also 2 donate buttons on the left side of the homepage at aseeltoksal.com. Or you can donate via PayPal, paypal.me/ascension1, or become a Patreon patron, patreon.com/ascension1. A quick reminder about the ending poll. In the beginning, we asked you how you were feeling. We'd like to ask the same question. Simply click on the poll button at the bottom of the Crowdcast screen. If you want to share deeper about your experiences, we have a community Zoom call on Tuesdays. We've also created an email address, testimonial@ascension.one. Energy work is felt in so many ways, and it's helpful for us to have an understanding of how you are impacted. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for contributing your time and your presence. Despite being physically separated, when we gather in this way, I know we are in this together, and I feel the collective support we have for one another. Take it easy after the session. Give space for the energy to continue to work. If you can, keep your mind quiet. If you can't, bring this presence and peace to whatever it is that you need to do. I imagine you all as luminescent, powerful beings right now, and that makes me smile.